Let's start with part 4 of poliomyelitis. In this part, I am going to cover important aspect related with prevention of poliomyelitis. If you think in relation to levels of prevention, that is primary level, secondary level and tertiary level of prevention, and how to prevent poliomyelitis. For primary prevention, the most important measure is immunization or vaccination. For secondary level of prevention, it is appropriate treatment of all cases of paralytic polio. Whereas tertiary level of prevention, it is concerned with rehabilitation of all cases of paralytic poliomyelitis. Primary prevention. What are the effective interventions that we can use for primary prevention of poliomyelitis? It includes health education, it includes improvement in sanitation, improvement in hygiene, and the most important intervention is vaccination against poliomyelitis. The most effective way of prevention of poliomyelitis is vaccination. In this image, you can see OPV abbreviation, which stands for oral polio vaccine, or it is also known as Sabin vaccine. It is IPV, that is inactivated polio vaccine, also known as Salk vaccine.
Polio is a disease that causes permanent paralysis. We can't cure it, but we can prevent it. Two important tools help to prevent polio, two safe, effective vaccines. One of these vaccines is given with just 2 drops into the mouth of a child. This is called the oral polio vaccine. The other is given with an injection. This is called the inactivated poliovirus vaccine. They both teach children's bodies how to fight off the polio virus, but they do this in different ways. The oral polio vaccine builds protection in the child's intestine. This vaccine not only protects the child who receives it, but also protects others around the vaccinated child. Several doses of the oral polio vaccine should be given to every single child in places where polio is a threat. The injectable vaccine builds protection in the blood instead of the gut. It helps to boost immunity and keeps countries free from polio. But it doesn't stop polio spreading between children, so it is not as useful in places where the virus is still circulating. We need the oral vaccine to stop the virus wherever it is found. Once polio has been stopped everywhere, the inactivated poliovirus vaccine will be used on its own to keep populations protected. Both of these vaccines have been approved as safe and effective by the World Health Organization. To do their job properly, they need to be given to all children, no matter where they live. Thanks to these vaccines, cases of polio have fallen by over 99% around the world. Let's vaccinate every last child. Let's end polio forever.
What is difference between these two vaccines? That is IPV and OPV. IPV is inactivated vaccine or also known as Salk vaccine, whereas OPV is oral polio vaccine, also known as Sabin vaccine. What type of vaccines these are? IPV is killed vaccine or it is inactivated vaccine, whereas OPV is live attenuated vaccine. By which route these vaccines are given? So based on route of administration, IPV is given by parenteral route, that is it is given in the form of injections, whereas oral polio vaccine is given orally. What type of immunity these vaccines produces? IPV on administration, it produces only humoral immunity or systemic immunity. Now, what is meaning of this? It means whatever antibodies are produced following administration of IPV, these antibodies they circulate in blood and they keeps check on the poliovirus and prevents spread of poliovirus to central nervous system. Thus, IPV provides protection against paralytic polio. What about OPV? OPV produces both humoral immunity or systemic immunity as well as intestinal immunity or local immunity. What is meaning of this? So as you know, as it produces humoral immunity, it will provide protection against paralytic polio. But in addition to this, it also produces intestinal or local immunity which provides protection against reinfection. So, IPV helps to prevent paralytic polio, whereas OPV helps to prevent paralytic polio as well as prevents reinfection. Can we use these vaccines for controlling epidemics? IPV cannot be used to control epidemics of poliomyelitis, but at the same time, OPV can be safely and effectively used for controlling epidemics of poliomyelitis. The manufacturing process related to IPV is difficult, whereas OPV is easy to manufacture. Cost of IPV is high, whereas OPV is cheap. Storage condition for IPV is about 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, whereas for OPV it is essential to store this vaccine at sub-zero temperature. Administration of IPV and OPV. IPV is administered by parenteral route. It can be given intramuscularly or intradermally. If in immunization schedule only IPV is used, total 4 doses of this vaccine should be given. First dose is given at the age of 6th week, second dose is given at the age of 10th week, and third dose is given at the age of 14th week. If you note here, time interval between these doses is 4 weeks. But time interval between third dose and fourth dose is long. It is 6 months to 1 year. Additional doses of IPV are recommended at the time of school entry and then every 5 years till 18 years of age. Now about oral polio vaccine. Oral polio vaccine is administered by oral route. 2 drops of this vaccine are administered. Now as per National Immunization Schedule, currently we give primary doses as well as booster dose of OPV. As per guidelines, the oral polio vaccine which is used is bivalent oral polio vaccine. Primary doses, it includes birth dose. So birth dose should be given on the day of the birth of the baby. But if it is not institutional delivery, it can be given up to 15 days. It should be followed by 3 doses further at the age of 6th week, 10th week and 14th week. Booster dose is recommended at the age of 16 to 24 months. Upper age limit for both primary doses and booster dose is 5 years. Advantages of IPV. IPV can be safely given to immunodeficient persons, persons above 50 years of age, persons receiving steroids or persons receiving radiation therapy, or even it can be safely given to pregnant females. Disadvantages associated with administration of IPV, it includes minor vaccine reactions like tenderness, induration or erythema at the site of injection. Advantages of OPV. OPV is easy to administer. On administration, it produces both humoral immunity as well as intestinal immunity and thus provides protection against paralytic polio as well as against reinfection. After administration, immune response is quickly elicited. Sometimes problem may occur in tropical countries. Herd immunity is produced in community even if immunization coverage is low. Oral polio vaccine can be safely and effectively used to control epidemics. And it is cheap vaccine and its manufacturing is also easy. While administering OPV, you must remember most important complication associated with its use. It is vaccine associated paralytic polio. OPV is live attenuated vaccine. On administration, virus multiplies in intestine and it is excreted in the feces by vaccinee. So this virus is known as vaccine virus or it is also called as vaccine derived polio virus. Now this vaccine virus, it is capable of producing paralytic polio. When we immunize 10 lakh children, out of these 4 cases are likely to occur due to vaccine virus. Out of these cases, 60% cases they occur because of OPV type 3, whereas remaining 40% cases they occur because of type 2 and type 1. Now clinically it is very difficult to differentiate paralytic polio produced by wild polio virus and produced by vaccine virus. So, on clinical background, differentiation between cases of paralytic polio produced by wild virus or cases of paralytic polio produced by vaccine virus becomes difficult. So, we'll have to go for laboratory test. It is isolation of virus and this test is RRT-PCR, that is real-time reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction.
Polio is an incurable disease that can cause permanent paralysis. Thankfully, there's a very effective vaccine known as the oral polio vaccine, which provides lifelong protection from polio. Each drop of the vaccine contains a weakened form of the polio virus. This helps the body to develop immunity so that the child is protected against polio. Just like the wild polio virus, the vaccine virus can be passed from child to child. This helps spread the protection against polio to other children, even those who aren't vaccinated. However, when a large number of children are not vaccinated and immunity levels are very low, the vaccine virus can continue to spread from one unprotected child to another for a long period of time. As the virus continues to find unvaccinated children, it undergoes small genetic changes. On very rare occasions, this can cause the weakened virus to change into a form that can cause paralysis. These rare virus strains are called vaccine-derived polioviruses. They can paralyze people for life and can even spread to cause outbreaks. This is called a circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus. If immunity is high, vaccine-derived polio cannot arise. That's why it's so important to reach every last child with vaccines. If outbreaks do occur, they can be stopped in the same way as wild polio, with vaccination campaigns that protect children against all types of polio. To eradicate polio, we must stop all types of the virus. Let's make sure we vaccinate every child and end all polio for good.
What are contraindications for administration of oral polio vaccine? Oral polio vaccine should not be given to those patients who are suffering from leukemias or malignancy. At the same time, those patients who are receiving corticosteroids, oral polio vaccine should not be given. Now, what about diarrhea and administration of OPV? So, if child suffers from diarrhea, OPV can be given, but it should not be counted. That is, this administered dose of OPV should not be counted, and when the child recovers from diarrhea or when diarrhea subsides, another dose of oral polio vaccine should be given to that child. Storage of OPV, stabilized vaccine. Stabilization is done by adding magnesium chloride. At 4 degrees Celsius, stabilized vaccine can be stored for 1 year, whereas at 25 degrees Celsius, stabilized vaccine can be stored for 1 month. Non-stabilized vaccine, recommended temperature for its storage is -20 degrees Celsius. If we are using refrigerator for its storage, this non-stabilized vaccine must be kept in freezing chamber of refrigerator. Simultaneously, it is very essential to maintain appropriate temperature during transportation and administration of non-stabilized vaccine. Administration of oral polio vaccine and feeding advice. What advice you are supposed to give following administration of oral polio vaccine? This advice includes maternal education regarding breastfeeding. So giving breastfeeding is safe. So following OPV, breastfeeding can be given, but administration of hot water or hot fluids or hot milk should be avoided for at least half an hour after oral polio vaccine. What are the problems that we can face with use of oral polio vaccine? Most important problem is this is one of the most heat sensitive vaccine. So if examiner will ask you example of heat sensitive vaccine, your first answer should be oral polio vaccine. Now since it is most heat sensitive vaccine, it is very essential to maintain cold chain. What is cold chain? It is system of storage and transportation of vaccine at low temperature from the site of manufacture to the site of use, or simply we can say from manufacturer to the user. It is very important to maintain cold chain of vaccine so that efficacy and potency of vaccine can be preserved. Sometimes even if we use potent oral polio vaccine for immunization, it may result in vaccine failure. Another problem is residual neurovirulence. Passive immunization. In current practice, there is no need of using passive immunization for the treatment of poliomyelitis. Why this is so? Because immunization coverage is wide. What is passive immunization? It is administration of normal human immunoglobulins, and it is important to administer before appearance of symptoms. Once the symptoms of poliomyelitis occurs, it is not effective. What it does after administration, it provides protection against paralytic polio, and protective effect, it remains for about few weeks. Epidemiological investigations. Now, in current scenario, even if a single case of poliomyelitis occurs, it is called as epidemic, and it is very essential to do prompt investigation. So what it includes? It includes active search, and this active search should be made to find other cases. It further includes laboratory investigations. So all cases as well as all suspected cases must be investigated. So what samples we are supposed to take for this? Yes, you are right. It should be sample of feces. So sample of feces is collected from all cases as well as from suspected cases for isolation of virus. In addition to it, we should do serological test. For this, sample of paired sera is collected in acute phase and in convalescent phase. Simultaneously, we should begin with immunization using oral polio vaccine. All those persons above the age of 6 weeks whose immune status is not known or who have not been immunized completely should be given oral polio vaccine. At the same time, notification to World Health Organization is essential. And in addition to this notification, regular reporting after every 3 months to World Health Organization is also important. What are the strategies that are recommended for eradication of poliomyelitis in India? These strategies includes to increase and maintain high immunization coverage, detection of all cases of acute flaccid paralysis, mandatory reporting of all cases of acute flaccid paralysis occurring in children below the age of 15 years. To whom reporting should be done? Yes, it should be done to SMO, that is Surveillance Medical Officer. Another strategy is mopping up. What is meaning of mopping up? It means door-to-door immunization. It is carried out in high-risk districts. High-risk districts are those districts where wild polio virus is present or it is suspected to be present. One more strategy is conduction of PPI, that is pulse polio immunization until polio is eradicated.